All right, I'm going to speak now. And let's hope YouTube doesn't crash like it did last stream, which was really frustrating. Thankfully, it crashed right at the end when I was finishing up the drawing. It's on my Instagram, the final piece. Check it out. Speak now. All right, cool. And okay. And my voice sounds pretty good. As always, very melodious. I don't have any other acronyms to describe my voice. But either way, drawing from imagination stream, as always. I'll go for an hour or so, and I'm just thinking what I should draw. I have a general idea in mind, but this one's actually going to be difficult because I'm planning on drawing my kitchen from memory, and specifically like when I'm cooking my food uh, in my kitchen from memory, right? Because I really want to get memory drawing down. But it's also important to think about because okay, basically I'm thinking I want to draw my hand holding a pan, right? Obviously, I don't know how to draw hands yet. Like the hand mannequin isn't really much help right now. Also, when did I get a mole on my finger? Panda. Draw a man from memory. I'm trying to see if I suck. Um. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Why don't you guys just tell me what to draw? Is this for real live? Brandon Halfund. I don't think I've seen that name before. How's it going, Brandon? Yes, it's for real live. And yes, right, Viggy in the flesh. Hashtag Viggy faming. Right, we're all fucking doing that shit. But yeah, it's for real live. Right? Yes, seems so. Yes, I'm responding to you, so it has to be live, you fucking idiot. But anyways, but okay. You know what? I guess I will draw a man live, and we'll go from there. Right? And what kind of man should it be? Maybe I'll change up. Maybe I'll still keep the thing I want to draw because the main thing I want to draw is my stove, right? My stove top. But maybe it'll be people surrounding that. Maybe it'll be a fucking giant stove. Okay, well, let's see. I don't really know the human mannequin that well either. But here, let's just start cementing some features. Right? Uh yeah, a few weeks or something like this, I saw something from you and then I followed you. Oh, nice. Appreciate it. Right? Yeah, watch me become great. Delayed gratification channel. Right? I'm gonna be drawing like shit for the next 5, 6 years, and then randomly my channel will take off because people will be like, "What the fuck? This guy's drawing really well." Because surprise, surprise, when you do something for a very long time and you keep trying to get better, you're gonna get better. Right? It's just simple. But hey, I'm also trying to figure out the human body as well. So don't worry, Panda. Let's see how this goes. Right, this is not what I intend to draw at all. You completely fucking derailed my stream, you piece of shit. I was literally gonna draw something else, but I have to think about the entire. But I have to go now. See you again. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know how to draw a face, but we can try. Is the thing, right? We can try to keep perspective in mind. And this is good. You're actually completely pushing me outside my comfort zone, which I appreciate. Right? And this way, I'm actually setting the perspective. I have to think about like Artwad, what they said about the what the nose mannequin is, right? I'm trying to think how they sort of talk about it. And Prada, not Panda. What the fuck, Prada? Now because I was practicing torsos earlier and I figured I suck. And practicing drawing is the worst thing a man could fucking do. Torsos. Practicing drawing is the worst thing a man could do. You need to change your mindset. What the fuck am I hearing? Why are you on an art channel if you're bitching about drawing? This is what the fuck. Practicing is the best thing you can do because it's the only proof you have that you're getting better. What the fuck, bro? Practicing is literally the best thing you could do. Take that shit ass mindset and turn it upside down. Genuinely, you need to start thinking that practicing is the best thing you could do. I don't know what this face is gonna look like, and I don't know how to draw a nose, so maybe like that. This is so fun. Actually, thank you, Prada. You really did completely fuck up and derail my in the stream in the best of ways because I'm still gonna draw my stuff top from imagination, but now I can tell a story maybe. Right? Maybe it's this guy that's cooking. Right? Maybe it's this guy that's cooking. Not that I know how to draw faces or anything, but let's see, let's see. What do I want to do? Let's make him a ninja. I want to make him hashtag believe it, right? And this is great because I can actually keep the perspective in mind, right? So right now we need to establish the fact that okay, horizon line's up here clearly because right his eye line, and this is what Kim Jong Il used to do, or still no, not still did. Fucking sad. Whatever. He used to do this is he'd always draw the eyes and the eyebrow line first in order to establish to himself. This guy's a huge nose. Jesus Christ. Yeah, in order to establish to himself where the perspective was. And hold up. Yeah, in order to establish where the perspective was for himself, as well as trying to figure, yeah, like trying to figure out where the ground plane and stuff would be. So if I have this correctly, I'm trying to do a curvilinear perspective, so we can have this guy kind of come down like this. We'll have my, because this is where I was gonna put the stovetop anyways, and then maybe we can start having people interact with it. You know what? This is great. Thank you. You're actually really pushing me. You really pushed me outside of my comfort zone, which is not something. I mean, I do push myself outside of my comfort zone quite often. But yeah, Prada, please do not think drawing is the worst thing you can do. If you're associating frustration with errors, you are literally setting yourself up to not learn. I'll tell you this right now. When you make mistakes, the best thing you could do is start associating it with a positive feeling because that's actually what's going to cause you to learn. Like objectively speaking, in terms of just neuroscience, right? So that's what I do. Just force yourself, tell yourself it's a good thing that you're making all these mistakes. I think you need to start taking jokes as jokes, Unk. The fuck? Happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face. Oh my god, that's a lot of happy faces. Well, it's hard to tell jokes over the internet. Plus, I'm very serious about drawing. Right? It's my life. So, with that being said, this Unk will do his best to completely disregard your critiques. How dare you? I take jokes very well, man. I'm a man, that's why. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted exactly, but we can still turn this into something unique. I'm still getting used to this pen. Like, it's a fresh pen, right? So you see sometimes the lines are very thin, other times the lines are very thick. Well, I'm just happy to hear that Prada does not dislike drawing because I wouldn't want anybody who watches my content to feel as if that is the mindset to promote. Drawing is enjoying drawing and mistakes is one of the best things we can do, right? There you go. How long ago did you start taking practicing art seriously? This is a beautiful question because I'm probably one of the few people who didn't really have like a oh I was fucking around and then I wasn't story. So you have a very clear timeline on my end. I started drawing November 1st, 2022. Literally the first time I was like, okay, I'm gonna start drawing. I drew if you watch my intro video, you'll see like I drew maybe 20 drawings overall through my lifespan from like a baby to 25 years old, which is when I started drawing. Right, 25, a month after my birthday. But yeah, I started drawing as in like I'm just gonna learn drawing, right? With zero prior experience, apart from, if you look at the drawings I did growing up, it was just patience, right? Patience and just observation, which is my quote unquote talent. As in I could wait and I could see, and I could wait and I could see, and I could just do that until the image was finished, right? But no fundamentals, no skills whatsoever, right? Um, what's it called? But I started practicing. Yeah, it's been 2 years and 11 months, almost 3 years now, right? And it's all been fundamentals, all been imagination, all been ink only. So that's my story. Prada says, "Man, I practice like 3-4 hours per day. Of course, I love it. Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. You practice way more than me. I only practice an hour to 2 hours a day. Right? What kind of hat should this be? I'm trying to think. I want like a funny little hat, right? Gotta still think about the figure mannequin, of course. Now, obviously, some things won't make sense. It's kind of a fact. Some things just won't make sense, right? But I need to start thinking about, okay, I still don't know what this guy's face is going to look like. But maybe that's what cheekbones will look like, right? Because I don't know how to draw a face. I actually don't know how to draw a face, really, at all, right? But what I do know is roughly the mannequin, because I haven't, like, when I practice portraits, trust me, like 6 to 8 months of practicing portraits and I will get better. Obviously, it'll be only practicing portraits. That's one thing I've learned from all these artists, is that you should just only practice one thing at a time. But like really to understand the concept, right? Oh, maybe I could do something like this actually. This got beard, because I don't really draw beards, right? So let's see how that's gonna look. The funny thing about beards is obviously you still have to follow the perspective. And again, it's if style is an abstraction, then I need to abstract exactly how like what lines to choose and what lines not to choose, right? Yeah, like, and again, I don't know why this pen is randomly just faded at points, and other times it's not. But one thing, I haven't done Art Wad's dwarf portrait yet, but like they talk about facial hair there, and one thing is that it's just large forms. It's just large forms that are intersected together, and I have to figure out exactly how I want to intersect them, obviously, right? And again, it's all about the abstraction. So, and this is amazing. Like, I'm glad I'm making a lot of mistakes because I'm still figuring this out. So, uh, and another, what's the other thing? It's like having variety in our lines, right? But yeah, I don't know if you ever heard my answer, Prada, but we rarely get to see a Santa Claus looking ninja, right? might as well bring it to life. But I mean, if this is clearly a guy who's a bit older, we should give him some eye wrinkles as well, right? Maybe some like, what is this, like, this shit? What is that called? Crow's feet or something? Which doesn't make any sense because it's on the fucking eye. Why is it being referred to in the feet? Right? But yeah, Prada, I hope that answers your question on I've been drawing, right? And gives you those fundamentals and drawing from imagination, and just keep drilling the basics, because the basics is what got me to this point where I can draw something like this even though I have no idea how to draw a face, right? Like think about that. I'm drawing this even though I do not understand or have not practiced drawing faces for more than 3 hours max over the course of the last. Oh fuck no. I jizzed all over the page in my excitement. Whatever, we can fix that. It doesn't really matter. And again, it's not like I know how to make these features stand out either, right? And again, this is the abstraction part, right? Where it's like you kind of have to. I am trying to figure out where I can put these little lines that indicate the hairs without taking away from the overall readability. What does readability mean? I have no fucking idea. It's just white space, right? Might have made the mustache worse by darkening it there. I actually do think I did make the mustache worse. What type of hat should he have, everybody? I don't know what the fuck kind of hats ninjas have, right? What do they wear? Maybe it's like, what kind of hat should he have is the real question, right? Because I can do something like this for the armor. We can. No, wait. That's not what his body's supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like this. Right. I want to obviously foreshorten his. I want to foreshorten him. Hey, goat. Hey, Corey. How's it going? What's the inspo today? Well, originally I was gonna draw my kitchen, and I was gonna have my stove and my hand going over it, right? And then like trying to remember everything, the whole memory drawing thing. But then Prada pulled up and he's like, "Draw, man." So I was like, "Okay." So you completely derailed my stream. So let's see how it goes. So we're just kind of feeling it out, right? And I'm just trying to figure out what kind of hat this guy should have. Like what kind of, maybe I could do a chainmail hat, right? Maybe that would be nice. And this is I'm this texture is the texture I've seen for chainmail, by the way. If you're wondering like where I got this sort of texture inspiration from, it's just if you see like Antonio from Artwad, and there's a bunch of people online I follow on Instagram, right? Like anytime they draw chainmail, they draw it like this, and it makes sense. I believe it makes sense at the very least. Again, my application maybe is not the most incredibly satisfying, but I'm just trying to make sense of it all. Maybe this is more of a organic hat, right? I think that's fine too. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are drawing along, but I do hope you are, right? I would love for people to actually do the thing, which is draw, right? I keep losing the perspective, so I need to reframe and think about the perspective as I draw, because again, I'm trying to make it so like this is a skewed perspective. It's fun. It's very fun. Let's see. I guess that's the hat. Right, it's a little bunched up there, and then it's not bunched up anymore. Right? Does he know what he's doing? No. But is he having fun? Absolutely. Fucking just trying to. I'm literally trying to visualize all of this, and I'm obviously trying my best to think about the perspective consistently as much as possible, which is horizon line, right? I started the eye this way, so it's going that way. I actually need to skew this a bit more. Maybe just to prove that it's skewed, we can do something like this. Right? So it's like, oh, okay, we have a. There you go. I don't know what that is, but it's his hat. It's the hat. Um, this is where kind of white space comes into play, right? Where I could just do something like this. There you go, and then something like that. Maybe this guy is. I don't know what the fuck. What kind of fucking ninja looks like this in any specific scenario? And this is where I'm gonna give him giant ears. Not that I know how to draw ears, by the way. I think we're all well aware I don't know how to draw ears. So this will be like a retarded ear, right? But it's his retarded ear. See? Again, this is the beautiful part about just practicing form, I want to say. Like, this is the beautiful part about practicing form. When you don't know form, and yet you can literally kind of cheat it because you're like, I understand and I've seen ears and I know that they kind of have this sort of shape, right? It's literally the beauty of practicing form and shape manipulation over and over and over and over again, right? Again, I literally don't know how to draw this. I don't know the structure of a face. Your improvement is so insane. Sheesh. Thank you, Corey. Again, like you guys have seen my videos, and I've actually been drawing a bunch, so my backlog is like 2 weeks ahead again, which is great. But I want to keep drilling this point. All right. Nobody graduates the basics ever. And the basics are what's going to make you improve. If you ever feel like, hey, I can't draw this thing, the answer 90% of the time will be it's because I don't know how to make realistic forms. Right. I'm going to be honest with you. Like that's literally what it is. Right. Because even rendering, like even this rendering, RT tight ain't. Or is that the tight taint? Tight taint, yo, that's a top tier fucking username. You deserve more subs. Thank you, bro. I will, don't worry. Give it 5, 10 years and this my name will be a household brand in the YouTube art community. Because again, I'm here to prove that anybody can draw. That's it. Like I'm literally here to prove more than anything, more than my own progress, is that anyone can draw. Okay. But there are specific things to focus on when you draw to get this insane improvement, right? If you look at my day by day, if you look at my videos, like my day by day videos, right, 5 days a week, it's not that much. There's only 1% improvements every day, and you see me struggle all the time, right? You see me being like, "Fuck, this hurts my brain. This hurts my brain." But that's literally the point. Me saying, "Fuck, this hurts my brain. This hurts my brain," is the fucking point of what I'm doing, right? If you ever feel like it's too comfortable, that's also what's causing you strife, right? So it's just constantly challenging ourselves. Oh yeah, but yeah, anybody can draw. Not everyone will draw to the extent to improve, but anybody can draw, right? It's the whole Ratatouille quote. Totally true. It's a difficult thing for me to overcome. Yeah, dude, it's just about doing a little bit every single day, right? And that's something I've lived my life by in terms of just I like just knowing that hey, if I just do the right things, because the half of the battle when it comes to art is knowledge, right? When we don't know what to do, we are also stuck, right? Like if I didn't know, and I've been fortunate, I knew about Drawbox for the longest time, and I did Drawbox for the first 7 months of my art journey, right? And then I randomly got an ArtWad video recommended to me, Proco, right? The Proco ArtWad video, Antonio being like 6 steps to draw anything. And I'm like, this is what Drawbox tried to do, but ArtWad does a million times better. Because Drawbox is like, draw 50 boxes in isolation, 200 boxes in isolation. What the fuck are we learning from that? How to draw boxes in isolation. We're not learning how to group them. We're not learning how to think about multiple vanishing points or multiple things in the same vanishing points. We're not thinking of that, right? It's Irshad Karim, the creator, did a great job explaining perspective. He did a horrible job applying perspective. So that's just my 2 cents, right? But yeah. What I'm trying to say is anybody can draw. There are specific things you have to put the work into. It's not boring. Again, if anybody says perspective is boring, they're lying to themselves. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's simple. Like this is why people overestimate the fundamentals because they're like, it's of course having good line quality. That's simple. Of course, boxes so simple. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, right? And you need to throw your fucking pride away. You need to get rid of your hubris. You need to be like, oh, I can't do this, and it's actually very difficult. But you know what the beautiful thing is? It's I can't do this yet. Okay, like Carol Dweck, The Power of Yet, all that growth-minded shit, right? It's the truth. I can't do this yet. If you look, you think me 3 years ago would think I'd be at this point already? No, I thought this would take me like 7, 8 years. But that's the compound effect as well, right? You can't do this yet. So what I'm trying to say is anybody can draw, but there's specific things you must do in order to be able to draw. And you also need to believe in yourself more than anything. Like, why do you think I'm so fucking unnecessarily confident that this channel is going to be huge? Because it's the truth. I'm putting the work in. I'm literally putting the work in, right? And I'm proving that anybody can draw. So if not now, this channel will be a huge help in the future for anybody, right? Like these are the foundational years. So Corey said some stuff. Yeah, I feel like Drawbox didn't really talk about vanishing points. I did like a couple units of it and still didn't really understand it until I started ArtWad stuff. Exactly, because ArtWad actually makes it fun, right? It shows you that it's difficult, but then it's like, oh wait, we can apply this in ways which isn't just fucking drawing, yeah, drawing boxes in isolation, right? So trust, like when that's why do you think I'm such a huge ArtWad shill? I'm not just gonna shill for something I don't believe in until they start sponsoring me, of course. Then I'll just be like, this is amazing, the best thing ever for anybody, not just ArtWad, by the way. But I think I've set the precedent that I'm a piece of shit, so I think you guys will be okay with that. But yeah, isn't it amazing? I just drew this. I didn't even expect to draw this, but I drew this because I understand form. Like, what the fuck? I like okay, I like vaguely know cheekbones are here, right? I vaguely know that, so let's just indicate it. You know, and boom, now this guy looks even older. And maybe I fucked it up a little. This actually might be a huge fuck up right here. But if we do a little bit of symmetry, maybe it doesn't look too bad. Right? And these tiny little lines. And that's the other thing is like I only train, and remember, art drawing is training. Drawing is thinking as well. Like I keep losing the perspective, but I keep coming back because it's training my mind to see the perspective. And I honestly need to be the goal for you when you're drawing is just how much cognitive effort did I put into this? How much physical effort did I put into this? Like literally, how much did I really, really, really hurt my brain? If the answer is at least 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, then there you go. You worked hard. If the answer is I could have thought a lot harder, right? Like again, it's effort. How much effort did you put in? Not what was the outcome, but how much effort did you put in? And I constantly like my goal is to kill my brain when I draw. Like my goal is literally to think about everything and anything at all possibilities, in all convergences, in all perspective, visualizing, right? Seeing it like because the human brain's clearly capable of that. If many artists have reached that point, then the clear answer is just to do what they do, right? To think like they think. And that doesn't mean like there's no need to build up to it. Just start doing it now. Just start killing your brain now. Just because it's easy for them because they've already done all that hard work doesn't mean it'll be easy for us. And that doesn't mean it won't get easier, but we just have to keep challenging our brain at all times. And if I can do it, you can do it. Never forget that. If I can do it, you can do it. If blank can do it, I can do it, right? It's the same shit. And if anybody is capable of achieving something, that means it is achievable. Therefore, you will be able to achieve it, right? You just have to be like, do I give enough of a shit to achieve it? If the answer is a resounding yes, or even like a fucking paltry yes, I think I can achieve it, then it's just okay. Now you know what you have to do, right? There you go. And you know exactly what the steps are. I'm telling you guys, do not underestimate perspective and form, right? Like 99% of your problems can be solved through just not underestimating the fundamentals and genuinely giving them the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of repetitions they deserve while enjoying the process and the effort that you put into it. All right. That's it. I know nobody asked for this inspirational speech, but here I am, right? Here I am. So I hope you're drawing along. I hope you're drawing along. I'm trying to think of yeah, I'm trying to think of what this guy's body could have, right? Let's see. Okay, because I don't know the torso mannequin that well. And I feel as if his neck is I went from fucking head to torso. Look at that. Do you see the huge issue here now? And from because I completely forgot about the neck part of the mannequin. But that's how we learn, right? We could try something like this. Okay, because like that's the perspective I'm going for, right? I have to think about the perspective and the form as well. And again, you see, this is called a tangent. I fucked it up. Like these are awkwardly intersecting, right? But it's too late, and that's the beauty of pen. Is like I've committed. I've committed to the awkwardness of these shapes. So my job is just to make them a little bit better. Prada, it'll Loki look better if you just make him a dwarf. That's actually what I was just thinking. To be honest, it's already kind of looking like a dwarf-like. So I was just thinking I'll make him very stout. right? And guys, let it be known, 2, 3 years from now, when I actually go off on practicing figures and shit, imagine how much better this will look. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I don't appreciate what it looks like now. This is to prove the point that if I can draw this with zero understanding of portraiture and zero understanding of figures, basically, because I haven't put more than 5 hours into both of them, like each, right? And that was just a basic mannequin. Imagine what like more knowledge is gonna do. So that's what I'm just trying to put into perspective that it's just knowledge plus repetitions, right? Something we can all achieve given enough time, right? Every single one of us can achieve it. But yeah, I hope you're drawing along. And I'm making mistakes after mistakes. I want to be very clear, right? I'm making so many mistakes. It's hilarious how many mistakes I'm making. Because it's like the blind leading the blind. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I literally don't know what I'm doing. But what I do know is that I can just keep trying, right? And obviously failing. Because if I'm not failing, I'm not trying. That's a fucking nice arm. Right. That's a not that it's an accurate arm, let it be known. If you're wondering why I know what a tricep looks like relatively, it's because I'm jacked. So I'm just thinking, and I know what the inserts are like. So I'm just thinking about my triceps, just in case you're wondering. Like that's actually one video I had planned before I even did like a whole YouTube thing was a title something like if you want to learn human anatomy, become human anatomy. And the whole premise of that was just to try to convince people to fucking build muscle, which is honestly very helpful, right? It is very helpful because it's true. Like if you want to understand the body, become the body to understand. I feel as if it makes sense. And now we need to think about what's going on here. And again, this tricep isn't even that accurate, but I can just cover it with rendering, right? And I actually lost the perspective completely for the entire image for the past 3 minutes, but now I have it back again. But the thing is, I'm still thinking about this perspective. Again, I want him to curve it linear a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but that's what I want. And I'm definitely going to draw my fucking stove. Maybe not in this stream because it's already been half an hour, and I'm not going to go for more than an hour today. Apologies. Right? Maybe I will. I always say that shit, but then I end up doing it. There you go. Just something like that, right? This guy looks pretty legit. What the fuck? I drew this? Right? I'm trying to channel some Karl Kopinski here with the little indicator lines because he's pretty good with that. But, well, not pretty good. He's a fucking master. But, you know. This is why I love this brush pen because if you can draw with this brush pen, you can basically draw with any pen, to be honest. And maybe that made it worse. Maybe this made it worse. It's hard to indicate age. Like from my limited understanding, it's just wrinkles, right? But and also from my limited understanding, it's like what are wrinkles, right? Like what the fuck? How do we? This guy looks like he's been through a lot though, but it also looks like he's pretty happy with where he is, which is pretty cool, right? But but yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. You guys want to give me any topics to talk about? I'm running out of shit to say. I'm trying to entertain. Let's see, Ninja, he said before starting. I don't know what you mean by that. Did I say ninja? No, I said ninja. I don't fucking know anymore. Jesus Christ. But see, I don't want the focus to be on this, so I'm gonna do little rendering. I don't even know what these shapes are, to be honest. That's the thing. It's knowledge, right? Half of it is knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the means to replicate what it is you're trying to make, or to bring it to in a realistic sense, right? Now, let's see. I'm also going to, because again, the perspective is skewed, right? Now, I don't know if that's correct. Little indicator lines. Don't know if it's correct, but it's an indicator line. Right? Again, really trying to think about that perspective. But this is so fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually so fucking fun, right? I actually I clearly do like drawing characters. I actually the thing is I would hold myself back and be like, no, you're not ready. Not you're not ready, but you should draw character like things when you have a better understanding. But it's kind of like you're not gonna have the understanding until you draw the character like thing. Let's see. How is this gonna work? I think I fucked up the perspective a little. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Hold on, let me think. Little indication there. Yeah, that shoulder does not make sense. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're gonna have to. This is the part where we have to kind of impromptu, right? Because we already set it into motion. So this is the part where we problem solve because I made a huge mistake. I didn't think about actually how the shoulder connects. Right? I literally didn't think about it. Let me think. And these lines are also mistakes, but hey, this is how we learn, right? Maybe this is a scar. Whatever. Okay, I see. I'm getting distracted because I don't want to address this problem right now. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to okay. This is what we're gonna do. We're going to do this. This is literally, I think, a pretty cool way to work around this giant mistake that I made, right? And it's okay. It's gonna be wrong. Either way, there's gonna be mistakes that were made, right? But I think the main thing is the story we tell out of it. Damn. I'm actually really excited about what I'm making. Right? I'm actually pretty fucking excited. Cause slowly but surely it's coming together. Biggest thing is to take our time, right? To really take our time. But Something like that. Right. Again, I don't think I did that right, but let's see. Maybe something like this. I wonder if you guys can tell what I'm trying to do. Oh, everybody left. Bastards, fucking cunts, how dare you? You're telling me you have nothing better to do, or you have something better to do apart from watching my content, right? After all the inspiration I put out to these fucking useless pieces of shit. Ungrateful. Ungrateful bastards, I swear. But I do enjoy the community. I'm glad I started an art channel because the art community is actually very, very chill. Because you guys all understand how difficult it is. Right? Everybody's just fucking working hard together, getting hard together as well. And hopefully, I'm still hoping my stream doesn't randomly glitch out on me. So I saw Kim Jong Yi do something like this. So I'm just trying to emulate it. But again, emulation versus actually understanding. Different, right? And I don't think this worked out that well either, but this is the part where we can trying to think. We can do something here. Right? We can definitely do something here. But let me actually set the stage first. Let me visualize what I want to do. Right? Oof, I'm thinking really hard right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is where I want this to be. There you go. Right? Sets the stage. So he's sitting on a log. We're still following a curvilinear perspective, hopefully. Right? It's so hard to do because you have to think about so much, but I do hope I'm giving it a shot. I do believe I am, which is I think all that matters, right? I believe that I'm giving it a shot. But you see, this is already misaligned as fuck, which is fine. We'll give this some texture. I wonder if it's clear as to what I'm doing now. Maybe it still isn't, and that's okay. I mean, see, the thing is, while I'm drawing this, I need to constantly remind myself to visualize, right? To visualize the perspective. Because like while I'm making these lines, I should not be focused and zoomed in on making these lines, right? I should be focused on the bigger picture, which is the friends I made along the way, as well as just the fucking overall scene I'm trying to compose. Because the longer and more the more consistently I think about the overall scene I'm composing, the more consistently I'll be able to actually have it be closer to what I'm going to make, right? Like the outcome. It's not about the outcome, we're all aware, right? It's not about the outcome, but having an idea of what that is only beneficial. You know, like knowing where we want to go with it is only beneficial, right? So That's a fucking tiny ass dwarf, bro. His butt cheeks, I don't know how they're gonna rest on this log. See, because I did my best to think ahead, but now this was a mistake that was made. So and I don't know, like I don't know how to draw a hand, but we're gonna try to figure it out. Again, guys, hand mannequin have not practiced it anywhere near enough, right? But it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all just learnings, right? I mean, I could look at my own hand, to be honest, right? Just go from there. Oh wait, doing some interesting Jujutsu Kaisen-esque pose. And did my stream glitch out? No, it didn't. Did it? Fuck, I can't tell anymore. Hold up, let me put the volume up. Oh, no, it's good. Okay, so people can still hear me. Yeah, YouTube streaming is fucking garbage, like in terms of actually being decent. Let me try to think, what would that look like from, it says left hand, right? So something like that. My lines do need more confidence, as always, right? But we're just gonna we're just gonna move on like it's not something that we're focused on, which we are, of course. It's a lie we tell ourselves, right? But maybe he's holding something. And maybe he's holding something. I didn't even consider that as a possibility. Okay, that is not what a hand looks like, but it's too late. And the hand's actually way too far ahead. Like it's no, not far ahead enough. So now we gotta fucking, yeah, that is that is not inaccurate. Should have given it a bit more thought. Okay, so there's that. There is that. Right, which is honestly like I'm still impressed that I'm able to do something like this, considering I don't know how to draw an arm at all. Right, so the power of form, everybody. It still looks relatively three-dimensional. There you go. His hand's doing some weird shit, boys. That one just looks like it's broken. Draw a pickle. Hey, Silver's back with some retarded comment as always. Just tell me to do stupid shit. Maybe he is holding a pickle. How about that? I don't know what a pickle looks like, but maybe he's holding. Yeah, maybe he's holding a half-eaten pickle. Have some more legitimacy in my forms, right? I know pickles are kind of bumpy. Oh, I should have foreshortened that. I definitely should have foreshortened that. Maybe I still can. There, that's a bit better. Right, and then we'll just add these little bumps. And I know pickles have this, right? Kind of these little stripe things. Yes, good. Yeah, for the first time fucking ever, clearly it kind of looks like what I want, what it should be. There you go. This finger's broken. Don't ask how that got there. There you go. Ah, yes, a hand of the mightiest dwarves, completely fucking bastardized because he was in a war. That's why it looks like this, because he was in a war, no other reason. Right? We do not even dare to think that it's because his creator did not understand how hands work. Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Right, this is kind of what pickles look like, right? Maybe, maybe not, but the point is, I'm trying, and that's all that matters. See, I keep losing the perspective, so I keep needing to realign my mind. And by the perspective, I mean the overall perspective, like the 4-point perspective that I'm trying to visualize, right? So, cool. It's fun. Very fun, I'll be honest. Especially since I'm just experimenting, right? Just trying to visualize, understand. And I think we can add a little bit more bumps. Maybe it's too much, right? We need to ease up on the bumperoonies. Make the lines a bit thinner over here to indicate that it's a very textured object, right? This guy looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. He does look pretty interesting. We need to make, what the fuck does my, it's like that. So let's make that a graphic shape, right? Maybe I made it worse, because obviously I don't understand the wrist bone either. Something like that. Little muscle indications that I have no idea about, right? And where's the fucking light even coming from? Yeah, seriously, I need, I need to think about the light source. I haven't thought about the light source at all. But if that's where it's coming from, then something like this should be fine. Add some clouds in the background. Maybe. I mean, it's a very curvilinear perspective. So I need to think about where those clouds would be, because that's the horizon line. So yeah, the clouds can be like up there. Okay, I'll add them next time. Right now, I'm just trying to figure this out. So, and you know I'm not going to be drawing for more than an hour or two. I'll probably just do an hour today. Right? But yeah, some good stuff. I don't know if there's any way to save this, because yeah, no, there isn't any way to save that, and I just made it worse. There, and I made that way too thick. Right, let's make these hands a little bit because it's over the thing, right? We're drawing over it. So we at the very least should have some level of line weight. There you go. Something like that. Because he's old, so he has like veins and shit on his arm, which isn't really a hand. That's the most fucked up hand I've ever seen. Jesus Christ. But it's his hand, and that's special. There was an attempt. There was an attempt, right? We can confidently say there was an attempt. But oh, I haven't even had my coffee. Fucking hell. Delicious. Right? But okay. I want to start adding some things that that what is this? Which is this ebonics? That I want to add some things that reinforce the perspective. So let's do. Let's do something like this. And what else? I guess, honestly, the best thing I can do is just keep it going. Dude, I love drawing. Holy fuck. When you just let go of expectations, right? And you're like, I'm just gonna try and really try to use my brain and focus. I fucking love drawing. I hope everybody watching fucking it's just silver, but I hope you all love just putting in that effort in as well, because God, it feels so cool. It's incredible by just putting in effort consistently, not even a lot, but just whatever you can muster and slowly doing more, right? It's fucking amazing that we can completely change the texture of our minds and get better at things. Like think about it, learning is a blessing. Genuinely, learning is a blessing. It's incredible how we can just get better by trying, resting. My girlfriend's calling me. I cannot pick up, unfortunately, my love, for I am streaming and entertaining silver comments, retarded comments. Silver comments, retarded comments. What a bar. But I don't know why you're talking about the pretzel, because that is not a pretzel, you piece of shit. And this is supposed to be a pickle, but now it just looks like he's holding a piece of wood. Too much texturing. Clearly, way too much texturing. Right? Clearly, way too much texturing. But it's okay. You're correct. Yeah. See, don't worry. Like I'm well aware of all the bullshit I pull with my own drawings. I just sometimes it's just easier to get caught up in it, right? Like that. Maybe that made it worse. Maybe that made it better. I don't know. Well, that was an accident, but that's what I was trying to do, anyways. So, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That was a fuck up. I didn't mean for that line to be so thick. This is what happens when you have a new brush pen, right? New brush pens will create a lot of kerfuffles. Kerfuffleness is. And this is what we're gonna call bounce light because I don't know what bounce light is, but it's bouncing. It's bouncing, right? So okay, so I'm trying to set the perspective, and so like we got this guy coming in this way, we got this guy coming in, we got this thingy coming in that way. So yes, right, that's the horizon line. It's going that way. Clearly, this is obviously part of the horizon line, but you know this is this way, right? Coming down, going down to the vanishing point down here, right? Curvilinear perspective isn't hard; it's just insanely difficult, right? So let's see. There you go, something like this. And I'm trying to visualize this, by the way. I'm really trying hard to visualize whatever I'm drawing right here. There you go. Let's see. What's amazing about what I'm doing here is like it really forces you to think about the logic, right? Because you can't really draw things if you don't understand, you know, first the form, but then as you get more and more, I'm not saying I'm advanced by the way, but as you get more advanced, I do believe, right, the logic is a big part of it. You know, we're able to make sense of things and how they should be interacting with the world, right? So for me, I'm just trying to make sense of how this thing would interact with the world, right? And what makes sense in that regard. And I think a big part of these things looking aesthetic is also gesture, right? Oh, it's a pretzel stick. That's what you were saying. I see. Stupid comment, completely irrelevant, but very insightful. Thank you. So yeah, it's just trying to figure out how these things, and there's a million mistakes being made here, and it all comes down to what? Lack of understanding, right? So if I don't understand, I cannot create more accurately. But because I'm trying to understand, there's still something being created, right? Does that make sense? Like there's still that the attempt in and of itself is the ability to take a step back and be like, okay, I am creating something. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, to be honest. I'm too distracted by my drawing. But it's deep, it's insightful, much like your mother. All right, so it should make sense. And we need more pretzels. Okay, I'll try to give the goddamn pretzels texture, right? This is a really cool drawing. I can already, okay, so basically I went camping. So I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna, from memory, draw the little campfire pit I saw, right? So obviously it has to be proportioned appropriately. It has to be in a spot that makes sense, you know? But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And I want I want my stove here. I want my kitchen stove here just for shits. It's like he's gonna have a campfire, but then there's gonna be a stove here. It's like why? The answer is why not? Right? Was it a mosh pit? No, no, no. It was It was a fire pit. What the fuck? What a retarded question. A mosh pit? Do you know what a mosh pit is? Actually, do I know what a mosh pit is? Isn't a mosh pit when a bunch of people are running at each other, and it's a concert thing? That was my understanding. But yeah, okay. So it wasn't a mosh pit. It was a fire pit. Fucking dumbass. But yeah, I'll because I actually drew that fire pit from life, which is pretty cool. Like I on the camping trip I went this past weekend, I actually drew it from life, right? So that was really fun. And I want again, if we're gonna practice memory drawing, not if, because we are practicing memory drawing, we are obviously going to challenge our ability to recall what that shape was, right? That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. And again, it's all about trying to keep that curvilinear perspective in mind while I draw. So it really is incredible how Jung Yi, Peter Han, Dong Ho Kim are able to replicate it. But is it really incredible? Not really. They just put 100 times more practice than I did over a longer time horizon. And you put it like that, then it's like, oh, okay, I just have to do what I'm doing, and then I'll get there, right? So let's see. Right, little clasp. Have it go over. I do need to work on my gestural lines for sure, because clearly I don't understand. Wait, I'm done. Oh, and my stream is lagging again. Is it good? Okay, wonderful. It is good because I heard myself say it's good. Great. Yeah, I don't know what to do about my stuff, guys, like my stream, because my internet is good. Most of the times it's worked fine, and then randomly YouTube will just shit itself and the stream will cut out. So don't be surprised for anybody who's listening, watching now or in the future, that if it just goes to shit, like it just gets cut out and you're like, where's the next part? The next, I probably, if that happens, I was probably like, what the fuck? Why'd that happen? And then I was like, all right, whatever. I can't do anything. I get angry and then I move on. And then the next part picks up, right? That's usually what it is. That's basically what it is, right? This hand is looking worse and worse, and I am not helping. I am not helping, but I'm gonna keep going. When in doubt, just add more form indications, right? There you go. That looks so bad. I should have left it. It's fine. It's fine, he says. Leave it. Stop looking at it. It's getting worse and worse as time goes on. Maybe if it's just like a corrupted hand, right? This hand's also been through a lot. There you go. Ta-da! I wonder who's actually watching my shit, to be honest. Let's see. There you go. I'm just trying to think about gesture. Right. Okay, I'm just trying to like figure out the logic of this rope. It's good. It's really hurting my brain. And I've lost the perspective again for like the past 10 minutes. See, it's something you always have to be thinking about. And if you're not aware, the biggest thing is awareness, right? If we can't realize that we're supposed to be thinking about something while we're drawing, then we can't think about it, right? So it just comes down to awareness. And that's why your own research and your own methodologies in looking for stuff and how things work is more important, because you can only come to conclusions when you're curious about the conclusions, right? When you're curious about the process, when you're curious about how things work. If you don't allow yourself that curiosity as well as that intrinsic interest, then you're kind of just gonna be, you're just gonna be in a place where it's like, like, do I really know what I want to draw? And a lot of it just comes down to lack of knowledge, right? Lack of knowledge is always the main thing. Even now, I'm just trying to like think about like what little things can I add to this to make it more interesting, right? Just trying to think. Hold up. Because we can have this as well, and this is the rope. Again, need to work on my gesture, of course, but here to indicate that it's the rope. Right? So we can see that it's like, okay, it's kind of tied to something. It's attached to something. I'm really going to try to work on spacing things out. One thing I've realized is like I don't really space things out, right? It's evident. I just have a tendency to fill things everywhere. I feel as if this sort of grounded, this is someone at a campfire, they have a stove because they're retarded, and they have a bag that has all their shit. It should be a great way to ground things, you know? Because it's also reflective of my experience because I went camping. So I feel as if this was a great segue into just kind of what I've been doing as of late. There you go. Why don't we have something like that? Let's see, something like that. There you go. Again, I'm trying to have more gestural lines. Like this is a bit of a mess, but I feel as if it'll clean up once I add the rendering for this, which can just be this. Right? We can just make it very simple. But well, I actually should have thought a lot more before I did this because it has to follow the perspective. Okay, so clearly I fucked that up. So we're gonna change it now to be something like that. Or at least this top part, right? And then we can, like Silver Comet wanted, we'll make it like a pretzel, like wooden material, right? And we need to space it out, obviously. I want to really emphasize the readability. And I lost the perspective again, lost it multiple times actually. But I keep refocusing is the main thing, right? Like I'm continuously trying to keep the entire thing in mind as I draw. And that's amazing because these mistakes I'm making are what's going to set the foundation for my art years down the line. Because right now, let's say right now I'm really only thinking about the perspective. If we're gonna be really honest, 20-30% of the time, like the overall perspective, the curvilinear, like overall perspective, yeah, like 20% of the time, 20-25. But if I keep trying to think about it, and 10 years pass, and I'm at 50% of the time, and then another 10 years pass, and it's like 65% of the time, you see how it's like overall things will just get better. You know, my ability to just think about these things will just get better over time. Should probably highlight this a bit more. This way it's very clear that this is what everything is attached to. Now, I don't know if this is the correct decision, but it is an artistic decision, right? So doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba, right? Okay, and right, same thing here. I'm just gonna really see, trying to think about that perspective. Still trying to keep it in mind, right? That things are converging that way as well, because a very intense convergence. But let's see what else. So we got this, we got this. Let's see what else we can do. What do I want this bag to look like? I mean, he looks like he's a dwarf traveler. What do satchels really look like? Right? Do we have a? I mean, I have a bag, but do zippers exist in this timeline? Clearly, because he has something like this, right? He clearly has like a little zipper here, right? So we shouldn't be racist, right? I'm sure these people have zippers, fucking inbreds. But let's see, it's okay. I made him, so I can be racist towards him. It's fine, right? I have the right to dislike my own creation and to think he's inferior. Hashtag part of the process. But okay, I'm trying to think what type of bag it should be. Or maybe this can be part of the bag, right? Let's see. So I still have this, which we have to keep into account for, right? And this little thing right here will, right? And it goes around. And then we have this. Really gestural. Really trying to make it gestural. Do I know what that word means? Absolutely fucking not. But really gestural. Really trying to make it gestural. Does anybody know what the word gestural means? If you do, I'm banning you. You're not allowed to know more than me. But let's see, something like this. That was a mistake. See, that line was a mistake. But let's see, and then we go back yonder, right? Trying to keep that curvilinear perspective in mind as much as possible. And then what? And then what, he said. Did he say Heil? No, he did not say Heil. That is racist. But did he say, totally have the Dragon Balls? Yeah, totally. I fucking love that shit. Me and my friends meme that all the time. Dragon Ball Z abridged, right? Oh yeah, totally have the Dragon Balls. Cool. Right? Something like that. See, I'm figuring out my own logic, and we're creating our own little thingy, right? It's pretty cool. But now the question is this a rope? I guess it can be a rope. And if it's going to be a rope, we should do something like, well, let me actually fill out this rope first. Actually, completely forgot about this little attachment that I made. Let's do something like this. See, kind of drawing over it. Always making mistakes. Always making mistakes, man. And to, I guess, add a bit more dynamism and still think about the perspective. Right, something like this. Now, at this point, it's very clear that these ropes, being tangled as they are, don't really make much sense. Right? I think it's very clear that it doesn't really make much sense. But hey, we're creating something. We are artists. We do things and then we say, haha, it was my plan all along. Oh shit. Not the words you want to hear after saying it was my plan all along. We are artists. Hashtag we cry when things don't go our way. Hashtag we say, oh no, woe is me. A beginner artist, by the way. I think anybody who's intermediate and beyond isn't much of a bitch when it comes to learning. Right? At least I would hope not. I mean, you're just fucking yourself if you are. But I can do that for you too. Spread them. Slut. But, let's see. Okay, this could have been a lot thinner, actually. This one right here. But we're gonna just have to make do. Right? You can always be thinner, look better. Okay, now we have all this rope and all this shit. So clearly we need things to tie it around, right? And we got it. This is when we really think about the perspective. Let's see. Right? Just trying to think about that perspective. Wait, but it should be like that. There you go. There's something like that, right? And we can have little buttons. It's cute. This is where we really need to think about perspective. And like honestly, what the fuck is this anyways? Who cares? It's in perspective. Jungi always said this one thing where he was like, and a lot of other artists have said it too. But again, I pay attention a lot to what he says, and I feel as if there's so much content about the way he thinks and the way he does things, right? But one thing he said is like, you can just add detail. It doesn't even have to make sense. You can just do stupid shit, right? And people will just buy it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just do stupid shit. And hopefully you fucking morons will buy it. Okay. So this is the bag, right? And now we have to create this little handle thing that everything is clearly attached to. There you go. Again, trying to think about the perspective. I think the curvilinearness has lost any sort of curvilinearness that it could have, but I'm just trying to figure it out, right? Yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. Something like that. No, it should be like this, right? I'm really enjoying drawing this. This was so fun to think about. Holy shit! Like trying to think about how things attach and all that stuff. God damn, that was really fun to think about. I still don't know what this bag is gonna look like. I'll be honest. I still don't know what this bag's gonna look like. But hey, now at least I have some sort of perspective to add to it. Maybe I'll make this bag a lot larger. You know what? It's been an hour. It's been an hour and 20 actually. So I'm gonna stop here. This was really fun. I really, really did push my brain. Maybe I'll come back for another stream later tonight. Maybe, right? I really like what I'm doing here. So yeah, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. This is pretty fucking good, I'd say. Like I'm very happy with the effort that I put in, right? I genuinely was thinking and trying a lot, right? Which is evident from this fucking hand. It's clearly evident from this hand. Here, let me add the. There you go. Little nail, right? So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and I'm gonna keep trying my best. Oof, that's so, dude. That was so fun. Like trying to think about trying to figure this perspective out while I'm, keep drawing the little details. I'm really proud of the fact that I managed to create a cohesive little handle and like little attachments with this. I'm really proud of that. Yeah. Actually, let me just finish it off just a little bit. Right, because otherwise it's just going to be kind of unfinished. There you go. See, it's just coming around. Cool. There you go. Yeah, so it's all attached to this thing. Now we just have to figure out what this thing can be and what it can turn into, right? Probably should finish this as well. This little stick right here, and then after that it's going behind. Yeah, I guess that's just a line I wanted to make. And yeah, let's just add the little details. Well, actually, it fucked up the orientation of the stick, but it's okay. Okay, whatever. Cool. All right, that was pretty fun. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope anybody who's watching now or listening now or in the future drew along, right? Really, really, really tried their best and just enjoyed the effort. Put your best foot forward and we're like, okay, I tried. I definitely tried. I can definitely say I tried like a solid 6.5 to a 7 out of 10 on this, right? My goal is always like 9 where I'm just killing my brain, but this was really good and this was very difficult. And this was a great challenge, and it's gonna continue being that. So yeah, with that being said, as always, I thank you for watching. I keep drawing and money, right? That's my thing. Anyways, give me money. Yeah, okay, bye. Ah, fuck, I have to end the stream. Let me just. Okay, goodbye.